If I'm in the WNBA, if I'm a player, I'm going to go, hold on. I've been here for a minute. You're telling me this newcomer's going to take over the league? I got something for her.
Unnecessary. Kennedy Carter.
And if she's not particularly strong, she's not particularly fast, how am I going to compensate for the fact that she's ultra skilled?
Comes off a pin down here, wide open.
I'm going to try to be physical with her. I've been watching the game closely for the last 8-9 years at every level. WNBA, collegiate, high school, you name it. The women's game is more physical.
April, is that Jambo? What is that stage for us? Kicking up
And so here we go again, back with another one. Welcome back to the Dark Times channel. And if you haven't done so already, please be sure to hit that like button. And if you're not new to the channel and you've been enjoying the content so far on this channel, make sure you guys go ahead and hit that subscribe button for me as well. And so as you all know, Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark faced off last weekend. And it was another headline. It was another box office event. It was must-see TV. And there was also another storyline, mainly because Angel Reese fouled Caitlin Clark on a play that happens all the time.
On that flagrant foul.
Give me that, though. Izzy said, give me that. Sorry.
So despite what some are trying to make this out to be, Reese appears to be going for the ball before making contact with Clark's head. Play was initially called a common foul before being upgraded to a flagrant one after official review. So we got the different angles. You see her staring at the ball the whole time. You know what I mean? Like, and for me, I'm gonna break down the video and always look and be like, was it one of these? And no, I'm literally trying to beat it. In real time, watching that clip, you see what it is.
That's an Angel's not dirty.
And so there was absolutely nothing dirty about that play other than the fact that it happened to Caitlin Clark and it was Angel Reese who did it. It was a flagrant one, as it should have been called, because there was contact to the head. But besides that, it was a basketball play. It was a basketball move. And that's basketball. And in particular, women's basketball.
I've been watching the game closely for the last 8-9 years at every level. WNBA, collegiate, high school, you name it. The women's game is more physical. It just is.
Way more physical.
Way more physical. And the referees, conversely, have a more difficult time of figuring out how to deal with the physicality and also the back and forth.
And so absolutely, anyone who's ever played against female basketball players, and some of my ballers can probably help me out down below. Feel free to go ahead and chime in and weigh in on the matter yourself. Any of y'all can tell me that the girls and the women's game is a completely different game. It's a much more physical game than the men's game. And there's two types of players that I hated playing against. The first one is the football player, and then the second one is women. Because they're always gonna do a little bit extra. Whether it's a slap on the wrist or whether it's a push, there's always going to be a little bit of extra on it. And so WNBA referees have a hard job because they could literally call a foul each time down the floor, but they wouldn't have any players left. And so they have to try to find the balance throughout the game to make sure the right call at the right time is made. And that's a difficult job. But one thing that they have got right, at least as far as for the business of the WNBA, is giving Caitlin Clark that special whistle. She's already got the whistle.
I think we went up really strong a lot of times and we didn't get a lot of calls. And going back and looking at the film, I've seen a lot of calls that weren't made. I guess some people got a special whistle, but.
And this is probably all of us. Basketball is a physical sport. It just is. And I think what people are doing or saying when it comes to Angel Reese, when it comes to Kennedy Carter, when it comes to the Chicago Sky, I think it's coming from people who don't really know the game and don't understand basketball. Like, I know a lot of people like, it's not black and white, it's not a race thing. But is it?
And so of course it's about race, no doubt about it. And Caitlin Clark playing in a predominantly black sport in the WNBA definitely helps sells it. And the fact that she's from Middle America, well, that's just the icing on the cake, as they would say. But a couple of days ago during the NBA Finals, some of y'all may remember this, but Doris Burke let something slip during the game.
If that were Caitlin Clark, it might spark a debate for a week.
So as they say, Doris ain't never lied. And if this same play would have happened in Caitlin Clark, they would have been calling for charges to be filed on whoever did this. And we know this to be true because all you got to do is go and look at the comment sections. Here's some right here, nothing cherry picked. Caitlin Clark is the sole reason for the explosion in the WNBA attendance. Clark has brought mainstream acceptance of the WNBA that the league has been seeking since their first tip-off. Angel Reese is doing everything she can to erase everything Clark has brought to the WNBA. And so that's true in a sense. Caitlin Clark has brought a lot of eyes to the WNBA. But the main reason she's brought those eyes is because of Angel Reese. Nobody would give a damn if Caitlin Clark was out there busting middle of America girls looking like Caitlin Clark. Nobody would care. It would be business as usual. But because she's out there running around with those nappy-headed hoes, as they like to put it, those are their words, not mine.
Pat Summit, man, they beat Rutgers by 13 points.
That's some rough girls from Rutgers, man. They got tattoos and some hardcore hoes. That's some nappy-headed hoes there, I'm going to tell you that now.
It makes a difference. All eyes on Caitlin now. They can live vicariously through Caitlin. And here's another one. This was not a basketball foul. Instead, under the 354222 of the Indiana Criminal Code, this was criminal recklessness, a misdemeanor. You see what I'm talking about? This is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. It was absolutely a basketball play, something that happens all the time. Whether you're playing on the playground, whether you're playing professionally, whether you're playing in a rec league, this literally happens all the time. And so this is exactly what I'm talking about. The majority of Caitlin Clark fans have no interest in supporting WNBA or supporting basketball. It's about trying to stick it to these nappy-headed hoes. That's what it comes down to. Here goes a few more. I was a convert to the WNBA, but will now stop watching until the league figures out this mess. Hard fouls is a part of the game. Targeting is not. Caitlin Clark is being targeted every single game. Her teammates need to stick up for her also. They want her black teammates to be mammies, basically. And a few of them are actually starting to be. This is after the game the other day. Check this out.
Yeah, Caitlin, really efficient first half for you. Some more off-target passes in the second half, I guess. How do you go about?
Watch those eyes. Those eyes are starting to bug.
Yeah, I mean, there was a couple here and there. I think one was a set design where I kind of just assumed Aaliyah was going to be open, and I didn't even really look before I threw it. So I think just slowing down a little bit. Honestly, I'm trying to remember the other ones. Another one was to Aaliyah that was throwing out of bounds.
It's all right. Don't worry, because don't worry, because I mean, you look at Caitlin and you look at the way she passes the ball, and so sometimes things are gonna happen that way, and that's okay because we're not gonna let her hang her head. We're not gonna hang our head off of any missed passes because we're still continuing to gel together, and we know that she's a great passer. So if she thinks she can get that ball there, she's gonna throw it, and if I miss it, then we're good. All right, don't worry.
So Aaliyah Boston starting to mammy it up just a little bit. Don't worry about it, Caitlin. I got you. Don't answer these questions about your turnovers, the turnovers that you had in college, the turnovers that you now have in the WNBA. You lead the league in turnovers. Don't worry, I got you. I'll make an excuse for you. Mammy got you. And smart move by Aaliyah Boston. Not necessarily a righteous one, but a smart move because being a mammy pays well.
Scoot up the attic, Mammy, and get down Martha box dress patterns.
What you up to in this Ellen's Fortier?
You're gonna make me a new dress.
That I present the Academy Award for the best performance of an actress in supporting roles during 1939 to Hattie McDaniel.
But I also know the minute you started working here, she started getting better.
You knew I was here the whole time?
Fried chicken and okra on the first night.
And the Golden Globe goes to Octavia Spencer the Hound.
And so, like I said, they love a good mammy. And that's the exact role that they want these players to play. And they're starting to play it. And I'm going to go ahead and skip down to the bottom and read one last comment because this comment right here is the kicker right here. Caitlin Jackie Robinson Clark. That's what one user wrote. And as we all know, that's beyond a reach. Caitlin Clark could never compare to a Jackie Robinson. And as a matter of fact, there is nobody within that community that could ever compare to a Jackie Robinson. There is no equivalency to that, nor will there ever be one. And that's the issue. And that's why a lot of individuals from that community love talking about the victim mentality that people have within the so-called black community. It's almost a deep-seated jealousy, a subliminal one, a subconscious one at that. And I know it may sound crazy to be jealous of another group's oppression, but that's exactly what it is. There's no other group of people that can say that they've been oppressed like so-called black Americans within the United States. And no other group can say that they've been oppressed just because of their skin color. And so, like I said, it's a deep-seated jealousy thing. And so a lot of people are out here trying to go out of their way to manufacture some kind of Jackie Robinson-like hero. And that's what Caitlin Clark represents, and that's why her popularity is what it is. And that's why they're trying to victimize her every chance they get. And the irony in that is hilarious, because every chance they get, they're telling everybody else, stop being a victim, stop having a victim mentality. But the first chance they get, they make a victim out of a WNBA player. And so, like I said, the irony is beyond hilarious in that. And so I find that fascinating. And I think that's going to be a good spot to go ahead and close out on this one. Definitely go ahead and chime in the comment section below. Let's try to keep the conversation going, and let's keep the conversation respectful. And as usual, peace and chaos.